Here's 5 quick tips for any beginner to fly fishing. Number 1. If you find yourself, after you've had your first fly casting lesson, if you find yourself doing this, continually false casting, and then you put it out and there's hardly any line goes out, it's a really simple fix. What you're doing is you're retrieving too much line into the rod tip. So what you're doing is you're retrieving it till you've got a foot of line just out the rod tip. When you lift off, that's why you hear this noise all the time and nothing happens. You're not loading the fly rod. So what we'll do to fix this very easily is you're going to retrieve, and you're going to stop retrieving when there's about 3 or 4 yards of line out of the rod tip, and you're just going to gently lift, and that extra line will allow you to load the rod. Number 2, when you've retrieved in and you've got 3 or 4 yards of line out, don't lift the rod and pause and let slack develop, because you're not going to load the rod with that. What you need to do is retrieve, and to do the cast properly, it needs to be a lift and a gentle and progressive lift and continuation. So lift, 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 and you're doing it. The worst thing you can do is lift and stop and let the line sag. Number 3, if you're not catching anything in one place and you've been here for 5 or 10 minutes, just change places. So move away, even if it's 20 yards down the bank. Just try somewhere new and fish for 5-10 minutes there as well. If nothing's happening, change it again. And just like changing places, if you change the flies regularly, change the depth regularly, change what you're doing regularly, you'll catch more fish, because then you'll find out where the fish are. But don't stand in one spot fishing the same fly the same way. Number 4, if you're struggling and there's not many fish on the top, fish with a fly with a little bit of weight. So fish that fly there with some weight in the top. What's going to happen there is the fly is going to plop, and it's going to alert the fish to its presence a little bit more. But another thing that you often see beginners doing is that they'll cast out and they'll retrieve immediately, which means that that fly is coming back in the top few inches of the water all the time. So if you're not getting anything there after half an hour or something, put a fly with weight on, and when you cast that fly out and it plops, let it sink for 10 or 15 seconds. And if you just start a slow figure of 8 retrieve, you'll be surprised how many fish you catch. Number 5, keep things simple. Don't put droppers on. Just stick one fly on the end. Fish that one fly better. The droppers are going to start tangling. If you're new to fishing, you're going to get in all manner of tangles and it's going to drive you insane. Just fish one fly.